Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فعرفت إبليس وجميع المفاسد. وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قسمت رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I would like to make a brief introduction to our guest speaker today. I want to tell you briefly that I met Karimah in Atlanta, Georgia, formally, but I had heard a lot about her through some of the works and some of the people that she has helped to support and some of the illnesses that has occurred to individuals. The most recent individuals that she has worked very closely with and was Imam Qasim Ahmed and Rashid Ali. And so I was, Fahim and I were at visiting in Atlanta where he had received an award, and I had, like I said, I had heard about her and was very excited when I was able to meet her while we were sitting having lunch. And she began telling me all the different things about her products, about who she is, and I was instantly saying, oh, you have to come to Oakland, you have to come to Oakland. And so, alhamdulillah, with all that she does, traveling and supporting other masjids, and she was at the Time to Be Grateful event, and she had a workshop there, and she had invited me and said that she would be in the Bay Area. And so I thank all of you for coming, because it was at short notice that we invited her upon her busy schedule to come and talk with us. There's so much that can be said, and I was going to read this, but because we're working with time, I just want you guys to be really familiar with just this information, even though she's going to tell you her story. But we're very grateful that we were able to come, and this is just going to be an introduction to what it is that she can offer as a community, and we want to receive this as a part of what we possibly may need for our own community, inshallah, in the future. So again, she's only going to make a presentation for about an hour and a half, but at the point that we come back together individually or as our entities or other, we can discuss having her here, because what she has to present takes pretty much of a week in order for 2 weeks. And she's been doing this in other masjids. So again, I would like to welcome Karimah, and I want to say Karimah, but because that's the name that I basically received from her. But she is Hajjah Karimah Rashid. So, alhamdulillah.
Okay, I'm not going to stand here, but I just wanted to get here for a second. So first I want to start off with saying, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalam ala kulli anbiya wal mursaleen, wa ala sayyidina habibina nabiyyina Mohammed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. I thank and praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all praises to Him, the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of the heavens and the earth and everything between it. I send peace and prayers and salutations on all of the prophets, from our father Adam alayhi salam to our beloved and final messenger Mohammed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I open up with a very familiar verse from Surah Al-Kahf. My teacher used to open up with it all the time, and it is, all praise is due to the one who has sent down to his servant the book that you will not find in it any iwaj, any crookedness. It is straight. It is perfect. It is complete. It is the gospel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you all so much for having me here. I want to get loose. I don't want to stand like I'm a lecturer. So I want to really get personal so we can get into this and you can feel what it is that I have to offer, not what I'm bringing today, because I can't bring the program. It's a 2-week program. But what I have to offer that I'm taking around to the community. I told one sister, she said, thank you so much for coming. I forgot who it was, but earlier. And I said, yes. I said, yeah, I'm happy to be here. I said, but also it's my exit out. See, I leave out of Oakland. My flight is out of Oakland. So, hey, I told my husband, I said, look, I'm on my way home, almost there, right? Texas, then into LA, then to Fresno, now Oakland. So this is the stop here on my way back home. But I am honored to be here. And I'm honored to be here because I remember, I think it was maybe a year or so, I was looking at our beloved Imam Fahim Shuaib because he's on Facebook and he's always talking. And I saw him on there and I kept inboxing him. And I wanted him to go to his inbox and look for a year ago, right? So he could see. I was inboxing him saying, I got to come out there, I got to come out there. But we know our leadership is very busy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides when, where, and how we will come into contact. So with that, I just got, at least maybe 2 minutes ago, some very sad news. And it's becoming the norm. That's the saddest part about it. It's becoming the norm. So my best friend of 21 years, she departed from here in 2007. And she had a sister and a mother. Each one followed her. And then the sister left 2 sons. And those 2 sons were my son's best friends. How old are they? They're between 35 and 38. Please listen. Between the ages of 35 and 38. Lamont, who just passed 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, 38. This is not what we would normally think as African American people. What was it? Was it gun violence? No. Gun violence is going to make itself in our statistics somewhere in the middle. Because number one that's hitting our communities everywhere, by 2030, the number one is already number 2. But by 2030 it will be the number 1. And 90% of the population will have it. And it's called cancer. I presented my program, the How Empowerment Program, at the Mohammed schools in Atlanta, Georgia, to 6th graders. By way of Imam Suleiman's wife, Shahida, because she took my course, and at that point she said, look, we got to hit everybody. And so she put it in the school. We did a beautiful program for 6th graders. But the saddest thing was, when I asked them, what do you think the number 1 killer is? 5 out of 6 students said cancer. 6th graders. I remember when I was 14, I didn't know anyone that had cancer. And when I finally saw one person, it shocked me and scared me to death. He's 38 years old. And I was at the hospital at the end of 2017 when he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, metastasis to the liver and other adjacent organs. The doctor said, hey, we can do the chemo, we can do the radiation, we can do all these things, and we're telling you right now, about maybe 60, 70% success rate. He's young, he's scared. He looks at me the same way that his aunt, my best friend, looked at me when she was diagnosed. And what do I say? When all of the family members are saying, what? Go ahead and do it. I start that off with just asking you, as I move into this introduction. I am a nurse, a registered nurse. California, to be exact. And I moved here in 2004 in the Bay Area. I've been in this cultural center many times and didn't even know who was here. So Sister Yolanda said, man, I've been in here so many times. I even had my Hajjah degree here in 2008. Because I lived in Hayward and I worked at Castro Valley Hospital, Eden Medical Center. I worked in trauma and I worked in emergency. I also worked in stroke and spinal cord injury. I worked in brain injury. So it wasn't anything for me when I heard that my teacher had a brain tumor. I was going. I'm going over there and do what I could do. I accepted Islam when I was 14 years old in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Center Street Masjid. At that time, Imam Mikhail was the imam. And then I kind of went out and played around, because I was 14, so I came in, played around. At 16, I said, I'm serious, and I took my shahada again under the late Imam Kari Shakur. And alhamdulillah, I've been trying my best to strive on this path. I was under the leadership of our honorable and noble Imam Waritheen Mohammed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to elevate him, and my teacher side by side, Imam Qasim Ahmed. But I also went out. I strayed like many of the children have strayed. And I was in so many different communities, I cannot tell you. And in 2017, I came back. I was overseas for 10 years in West Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia. I was in the Arab countries, the Gulf, all over. And I came home in 2017, landed in Atlanta, Georgia, and lo and behold, that's where I met my teacher, Imam Qasim Ahmed. And I'm sitting there and he's teaching the Arabic grammar. And I'm in his class, and I said, man, I went all around the world trying to find this grammar. Just to come home and get it in my own backyard. And he turned around and said, well, you didn't just come home, Karimah. You came home. And what did he mean? That I didn't just come back to America home. I came back to the community that Allah brought me in at 14 years old. Because those other communities that I left, they wasn't really trying to hear what I was talking about. So Allah brought me home. And I've been doing this program now since 2017. I'm not going to talk a lot about the program because you're going to see a lot of it in this presentation that I have. But I do hope that by the time we reach the end of this presentation, that it will inspire and motivate you to say, we must bring her back. It's mandatory. Not because of me. Because if it was because of me, then I would have the mic and I would be doing what I was doing before Islam. I was a rapper. And I don't think y'all would be entertained by that. Okay? All right, so it is because what I'm about to bring you, it is not that it is just a holistic health. And people try to describe it. They say, yeah, she's health and healing, she's holistic. And I got a slide that'll tell you what I really am in a few seconds. But let me just do this quick introduction. Now you go to the doctors, people go to the doctors, and you go in there and you're really hoping that you're going to leave with a solution after you get a diagnosis. You're hoping you don't even get diagnosed. But if you get diagnosed with something, you're hoping that you're going to leave with a solution to your symptoms or illness. I do not medical bash. Somebody asked me, like, why don't you have to go in there and tell? I don't have to. You know why I don't have to medical bash? I don't have to sit there and talk about the doctors, the hospital. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا. What? When truth comes, what happens? Falsehood perishes. Not only does it perish, truth knocks the brains out of falsehood. You ain't got to say nothing. The truth will shine, and falsehood will be right there, evident and clear. But some of us, as Allah says, we hear. Sami'na wa asa'na. We hear, but we disobey. So you go in there and you're hoping hoping that this doctor will be able to help you. I'm using cancer because it's probably the most devastating disease that we got right now, that most of the world is devastated with. But it can be for anything. But I just want you to go in there and you talk with your doctor, and the doctor tells you, like he told this young man, you have this cancer, but he's going to give you a statistic on if you take his treatment, what you might end up with. Well, I talk a lot with my 38-year-old son, and we're always talking through the Quran. And he came up with something like genius, right? He said, Umi, what if you went in the doctor's, right? And you sat there and the doctor said, look, rather than telling you that when you take this treatment, we have a survival rate, what if he told you that we have a, we have a relatively 10% death rate before 5 years, or 29% death rate before 5 years, or what about an 87% death rate? What if he told you that? Would you be in there wrestling with your family members saying, you know what, no, but I think so, you might just thank you, doc, I'm out of here. I'm going to trust in what God may have for me, possibly. But they don't say that. So you go in and you hear the opposite, but they are really saying it. You're just not listening. See, when the doctor tells you, right, that colorectal cancer, if it's localized in one area, and they give you chemo, radiation, and so forth, they say we got a 90% death rate. I mean, a survival rate, sorry. 90% survival rate. Which means we have a 10% what? Yeah. All right. And if it's distant, meaning not right localized, if they're spread in some other areas, right? They tell you we have, they tell you we have a 71% what? Survival rate. Meaning we have a 29% death rate. And then with stage 4, what this young man had, pretty much, it didn't move, but, I'm sorry. Pretty much what they're saying is we have a 23, right? I mean, yeah, 80, 90, 100, no, I'm sorry, 17, what is it? 13, right, sorry. 13%, what? No, 13 survival rate. And you hear that and you feel like, yes, they're telling you 87% of our people die.
Wow.
That's what I want to do today. I want you to think, not out of the box. Today, I want you to think inside of the book. Alhamdulillah, alladhi anzala ala abdihi kitaba wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaj. That's iwaj. Because all they have to do is speak to you in the reality. This is our so-called survival rate, which is in a 5-year span, but this is our death rate. So Allah says, all praise is due to the one that He has sent down this book to His servant. You will not find all that deception. You won't find that crookedness. You won't find that hidden message. It's clear. Kitab Mubin. And that's how I approach health by way of the Quran. And so I do not consider myself an herbologist, a naturopathic, or anything. I came up with my own term. I am a Quranologist. Quranologist, that's what I am. So somebody said, well, Sister Karimah, what is a Quranologist? A Quranologist is one who studies the world and sees the world by way of the Quran. One who looks at all and every situation from a Quranic standpoint. So, if you have to try to mobilize people to come to the program, if we get it to come here, and you say, well, you know what, because she be talking, so it ain't really health, but it is health, just say, look, the sister's a Quranologist. And you go to her website, you probably figure out what that is. Okay, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. So, this is my program that I take around is called the HOW Empowerment Program, and that stands for Heal on Wheels. And Heal on Wheels, I won't talk too much about it, but it was inspired and started because of my teacher, Imam Qasim Ahmed. When he was diagnosed, I ran to Texas trying to do whatever I could do. I wasn't ready for him to go. I hadn't gotten what I thought I needed, although he told me I did. And that's when Allah inspired me with this here. So you're not getting this because these are 12 modules. Just to show you, it's 12. We have 12 modules in this program. So module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the man, food, and spirituality. We have mind control, alters the soul. We have the human cell. We have food, a Quranic approach, food, dead or alive. We have halal and tayyiban versus organic. You know, everybody going out trying to buy that organic, paying that extra money. And all you gotta do is just stop and just use your own mind. Organic, seedless, something's wrong with that. Can't be both. Organic, seedless, that's an oxymoron statement. Okay? We have the water module, and we have, of course, y'all know the dilemma now, everybody. Meat, oh, put up the, whatever we want to put up the cross, whatever, meat, oh, we be there, right? No, I went on somebody's website and said, subhanAllah, how did y'all make the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a vegetarian in the desert? For real, he's almost a vegetarian now. They got beautiful hadiths that are popping up. Seriously, beware. They have beautiful hadiths that are popping up, and I'm not lying, they're popping up now. And the reason why you know it, because you can read it and see that, wait a minute, that stuff wasn't even invented. But in that hadith, that wasn't even invented. SubhanAllah, half of the stuff they name it is hybridized food. It wasn't even in the time of the Prophet. I said, look, stop this nonsense. But there's an agenda, and our religion has been hijacked. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed it in our hands. Oh, African American people. And it is for us. It is for us. This is why we're placed in this land for a reason. Stop thinking that it was something that Allah wasn't aware of. You God-forsaken people. No, you were placed here for a reason. And we're going to see it. And if we don't see it, our children will see it. So, I'm not going to go into that. That's a whole other talk. So, we have the meat module. We have the circular system module. We have the gut. Then we have pharmacy versus farm, F-A-R-M, and C-S-E-A. Then we have rest, sleep, and stress, and then, of course, our fasting and the healing by way of the Prophet. So that's our program. It's a 2-week program. Each one of those modules have about maybe 50 to 60 or 70 slides. So what can Sister Karimah do today in about an hour and maybe 10 to 15 minutes? If I don't even know what that is. What can I do today? Well, I try to pull from each one of these modules something as important as possible to get your mind thinking and enough for you to say, look, I got to do this course. Inshallah. So, if we the Muslims claim that there's a cure for every disease, then where are the cures? And we do claim it. We have hadiths, right? Many of them. And we say what? In our hadith, let me come back to that. Okay. I have it here. Let me just go to this first. We have it in our hadith that Allah has not sent down any disease except that He sent down His cure. So if that's the case, our masjids and our communities should be overflowing with people coming in trying to do what? Be cured. And we should be sitting there just lined up in our healing uniforms. I kind of see like the sisters from the first. You know, right? I don't see them nurses. I see the sisters from the first. And we should just be ready to take care of people, right? But instead, we're in the line. Hello?
Right.
We're in the line. And we're not in the Muslim line. We're in anybody's line. We're in anybody to pop up with a new trend. We're like, yes, I got people telling me, look, that's right, I don't eat meat. I said, why you don't eat meat? Well, you know, didn't you see what the health? Oh, okay. Oh, I don't do, I'm this, I'm that. We're on every possible thing. Why? Because we have left our guidance. So Allah says here, He says what? وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. And we send down of this Quran that which is a healing and a mercy for the believers. And this, it does not increase the wrongdoers, the oppressors, except in loss, for them to be lost. But this verse is talking about what? It's a healing and a mercy for the believers. Allah did not say for the Muslims. Because this here, He is specifically talking about the Quran now being a healing. And if you don't believe that this book is a healing and a mercy for you, you will do like what you are doing, going to everybody with everything that you got going on, rather than the book. And so, it's not that it's not there for you, you won't go to it. So you won't have it, you won't see it. Can the Quran explain every situation? So Sister Karimah is talking about healing. You probably say, well, you want me to go to the book, but I haven't seen anything about cancer or diabetes or high blood pressure or heart disease. So what are you talking about? Go to your book for, right? So let me ask you, can the Quran explain everything? Anybody say yes? No? Yes. You believe that? Yes. Hey, I have some brave students in my course. They're like, no. I'm like, okay. Well, let's see. Allah says, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبِيَنَّا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ. And I'm reading from the red. And we have sent down to you the book explaining all things, everything. A guide, a mercy, and glad tidings to those who submit. Now, as I was driving here from Fresno, I had to pull over. Do you know why? My Waze cut off on me. Anybody know what Waze is? Yeah. I said, holy crap, I don't even know where I'm going. Whoa, let me pull over. And I pulled over. And I got Waze set back up and I heard her talking. I'm like, all right. And I made my way here. Brothers and sisters, Waze is what? It's a guide. It's a travel guide. We used to have those big old maps where you had to kind of read through all that and pinpoint yourself through all that. Can you imagine? That's why you always have somebody riding with you and they read through, or you pinpoint that out in your brain before you get started. So Waze is a guide. Allah says this book is a what? How are we walking through this life with it turned off? And really thinking that we're going towards Allah. The same way, I knew I wasn't going, maybe I was going the right way, but I got to pull over. Because I don't know where I'm going to end up at. And I don't want to be late. That's the Quran. Allah said that it's what? It is a guide, and then it's a mercy and glad tidings to those who submit. So, Ibn Kathir said, what is the Lord saying when He talks about that this Quran explains all things? And we revealed the book, the Quran, to you as an explanation of everything. Ibn Mas'ud said, Allah made it clear that in the Quran there is complete knowledge and about everything. The Quran contains all kinds of beneficial knowledge, such as reports of what happened in the past, information about what is yet to come, what is lawful and unlawful, and what people need to know about their worldly affairs, their religion, their livelihood in this world, and their destiny in the hereafter. So the Quran covers every single thing. When our mother of the believers, when she was asked about the Prophet ﷺ, one of the Sahabas came to her and said, tell me about the character of the Messenger of Allah. Peace and blessings be upon him. She said, oh my son, do you not read the Quran? Allah says, in the interpretation meaning, and verily you, O Muhammad, are in what? An exalted standard of character. The character of Muhammad was the Quran. And in Arabic she said, خُلُقُهُ كَانَ Quran. His character was the Quran. Imam al-Nawawi said, in explaining what Aisha radiallahu anha said, he said, what this means is that he acted in accordance with the Quran, adhering to its limits, following its etiquettes, paying heed to its lessons and parables, pondering its meanings, and reciting it properly. Ibn Rajab said in Jami' al-Ulum wal-Hukm, what this means is that he followed its etiquettes and adopted its attitude. Whatever was praised in the Quran, he was pleased with it, and whatever was condemned in the Quran, he hated. It says in one report that he said his attitude was the Quran. Whatever it was pleased with, he was pleased with. And whatever it hated, he hated. This was the life of our Prophet ﷺ. So the hadith is here that the Muslims boast about. We say that Allah has not sent down a disease except that He has also sent down His cure. When the proper cure is applied to the disease, it heals by Allah's will. Allah has not sent down a disease except that He has also sent down His cure. Whoever knows it, the cure knows it. And whoever is unaware of it, the cure, he is unaware of it. The medicine. While those who are ignorant of it are unaware of it. Now, my question to the Ummah, the community of Muslims, since 2015, if we have the cure for all of the diseases, where are the cures? Where are they? And I'm talking about to our universities, Islamic scholar universities all over, they control it. Where are the cures? How many of us have to become disabled and everything else before the cures come out? Well, through the guidance of this Quran, and when you stay in the book, I believe they will have an Arabic class before I started. Please continue benefiting from that and get into your Quran. Because Allah is the teacher. As my teacher told me, Imam Qasim, and I said, well, Imam, I thought I was crazy because I used to say that, but I never told anybody that Allah was teaching me, because then they say I think I'm some supernatural human being. And he said, oh no, Kareem, Allah says right in Surah Al-Baqarah. It is He that teaches this kitab. It is Allah teaching you. But you have to be in the book in order for you to be taught. Okay? And so, I no longer ask the question, where are the cures? I actually know where they are. I really do. And they're free. Monetarily free. You will pay. But you won't pay monetarily. Allah makes it where whatever He has us do, it always regenerates and replenishes you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فعرفت إبليس وجميع المفاسد. وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قسمت رسول الله